Hey, welcome back to Socialette. This is episode 252. Now, not many of you will know this, but I actually have a secret product that I don't really promote anywhere. And it's because it's a product that I created completely by accident. Now, back in 2017, I wrote a blog post about how to create an Instagram puzzle feed grid. So the kind of Instagram feed where your posts all form like a collage across each square. Back then, nobody else had really created any blogs or videos on how to create one. So my blog post ranked number one in Google pretty quickly, and I was getting a lot of website traffic for free from Google. Now, these people weren't my ideal customer. Most of them weren't even business owners, so I couldn't sell them onto any of my courses or anything, right? I needed something I could sell to this particular group of people who were really interested in creating Instagram puzzle feed grids. And I knew I had to create something, right? It was going to be a lost opportunity otherwise. I had all of this traffic for a very, very niche interest. So in 2018, I created this Canva template for an Instagram puzzle feed grid. It took me about 3 or 4 hours to create and maybe like 3 hours to throw together a sales page, a checkout, all of that. And then it was done, right? Created. I didn't even officially launch it. I just created this product and started promoting it on the blog post and sending emails to the people who downloaded I had a freebie on that blog post page. So I emailed them with sales emails for this template. So easy, so simple, right? And to date, this template has sold about 1,000 copies without me having to market it at all, just on autopilot, right? I don't even think I've promoted it on Instagram ever. So that's like the power of a good blog post, right? But okay, this template has also been such a pain to deal with sometimes, right? Now, this episode, I'm sharing some of the lessons, 7 lessons that I've learned from selling $20,000 worth of this bloody Canva template that has been both a wonderful thing and also an absolute curse to deal with at times. So the first lesson that I learned from it is iron out the kinks at the very start. Now, back in 2018, when I first launched this template, Canva didn't have a template feature. You couldn't save a design as a template, which meant that I had to rely on my customers to make a copy of the design before they edited it, or else it would break the template for everyone else. Now, can you imagine what happened pretty much on a daily basis? Yep, people would break the template. They wouldn't make a copy. They would edit over the template with their own designs. And I was constantly getting emails from angry customers who'd bought this template only to find that someone had broken it before them. Not ideal, right? It took about 3 months of this happening almost daily before I got my act together and created a process for my assistant to jump in and fix the template every single day. Since then, Canva has introduced a template feature. Thank goodness. It has been a big time saver. But the point that I'm trying to make here is get everything in your product streamlined and sort out the kinks as early on as possible so that when you're selling hundreds and hundreds of them, which is going to happen, it might not be today, but it's going to happen, trust me, you're not amplifying the problem when you're selling 100 of them, right? Okay, lesson number 2. Don't take it personally when customers are angry. Now, of course, when people bought the template only to discover that someone else had broken it, of course I got angry emails, and understandably so, right? And a lot of these customers were overseas, so I would wake up in the morning to an inbox full of angry emails, and I would start my day feeling anxious and reactive because I'm a people pleaser. I don't like it when people are angry at me. Now, it took me a few months to learn that when a customer sends an angry email, they're not thinking of the human on the other end that's going to be reading it, right? Most of the time, once you fix the issue, they're happy and lovely. So you just got to learn not to take it personally in the meantime. Lesson number 3, get your customer support system sorted early on. Again, it took me months before I created some canned email templates that I could use to reply to the most common customer support issues. Now, if you're really looking to scale your product to like thousands and thousands, it might be worth looking into a third-party app like Zendesk or Freshdesk, where you can create support tickets for your customers and those can be delegated to your team so nobody falls through the cracks. Now, I did none of this, and for so long, customer support was just such a pain to deal with. People's emails will end up in my spam folder. Oh, and it got to the point where I nearly retired the templates twice, right? So get your customer support sorted before you launch. Number 4, always be on the lookout for ways to increase the average order value. Now, it took probably about a year before I thought, hey, I wonder how I can get these customers to spend more than just the $18.90 they're spending on the template. The answer, well, it was pretty obvious, right? Matching Instagram stories templates. So I added a little order bump to the checkout page where they could add 4 matching Instagram story templates to their order for just $4. And I think about 50% of people take me up on this order bump. I can't remember the exact percentage off the top of my head, but my average order value increased a lot. So that means on average, people were spending more per transaction than they had been before I added the order bump. The last lesson number 5, remember to test different things. Always be on the lookout for different things you can test and tweak, but only change one thing at a time so that you can see how it's affected your sales. So, for example, one thing that I tested that worked really brilliantly was adding a how the template works video to my sales page. Super simple video, just a screen recording of me editing the template in Canva, added to the sales page. And I also published that video to YouTube, and that drives a lot of traffic to the sales page on its own. So always look for ways that you can make it better and sell more. So there you have it, a bunch of lessons that I've learned from selling 1,000 copies of my Canva Instagram template. Thank you so much for listening, guys. As always, make sure you hit subscribe so you don't miss any new episodes released every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And if you're enjoying this show so far, you've maybe learned just even one thing from it, I really ask that you take 2 seconds to leave a quick rating and review in iTunes or Apple Podcasts. Thanks so much for listening, guys. Catch you next time.